Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to all the viewers. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Binti Harun, and on behalf of my first author, Mr. Amin, and my co-author, Mr. Hamka, I would like to present the paper based on the title Troubleshooting Steering Clutch on Builder Unit D15582 Komatsu. The paper consists of 4 chapters. The first one is introduction, second one is methodology, the third one is findings and analysis, and then the last one is conclusion. Coal contained within the mining jurisdiction of Indonesia is a non-renewable natural resource that is a gift from God Almighty that plays a vital role in many people's life. Meanwhile, coal mining business activities, which are mining business activities other than geothermal, oil and gas, as well as water and land, play a significant role in contributing to real economic growth and sustainable regional development. As actors involved in coal processing, heavy equipment plays a vital role in the efficient operation of the mining process. Bulldozers play a significant role as a heavy equipment in this regard. The methodology used in this paper, such as the first one, data were collected at PT United Tractors Site Safari, and then the collection of data is through library research and interview, and then the last one, the process of collecting data is through disassembly and assembly phase. The research is divided into three processes, including examination and measurement, disassembly, and the last one is repair and installation. Before inspecting and disassembly, the mechanic interviews the customer to obtain additional valid information regarding to the problem. The first step is to inspect the unit's condition. Afterward, the mechanics examine the unit to determine what issues have occurred, and the results are consistent with customer reports. After conducting inspections and checks on the unit, proceed with measuring the pressure oil steering. After conducting inspections and checks on the unit, proceed with measuring the pressure oil steering. The gauge used for measuring the pressure is the pressure gauge group. They measure the pressure on the low pressure right steering clutch with a pressure gauge when the engine is started at a high idle speed of 1,500 engine revolutions per minute. The results of these measurements could be more satisfactory because they do not correspond to the standards outlined in the manual. After measuring the steering oil pressure and determining unsatisfactory results, the steering right did not move with full force and another measurement was taken. The mechanics disassembled the steering clutch on the right to visually assess its condition based on the results of these measurements. The second process is disassembly. Disassembling the proper steering clutch assembly, namely draining the oil from the steering case, removing the full tank, removing the hoses, bolts, and so on, then lifting the steering clutch assembly using a lifting device. It can be seen in Figure 3. The following process is Next, place the steering clutch assembly component on the particular stand provided. Place a jack under the steering clutch assembly component to hold the springs and disassemble and inspect each steering clutch assembly element. It can be seen on this picture. The following process is removing and inspecting the disc and flat, then removing the outer drum and spring. After disassembling and inspecting the steering clutch assembly components, an unknown material was found between the disc and the flat. It can be seen on this figure. And the last process is repair and installation. After finding the cause of the steering clutch rod not being disengaged, the following process is to reinstall the steering clutch assembly components that have been disassembled. As for before the assembling process, cleaning and washing the component is first carried out, and then installing the inner drum, piston, and spring, then installing the clutch piston ring seal, installing the clutch drum install, the disc and flat, and aligning the gears. The following process is installing the outer drum, pressure plate, and brake head. It can be seen in the picture. As a result, after the steering clutch assembly component is installed and the steering oil has been filled, after that the mechanic tries to do a test run in the field, and the results obtained from the test run are excellent. That is, when the unit is turned to the right, the turning process is normal or as usual, and it no longer takes a long time to turn right or turn around. So based on the research, it can be concluded that PT United Tractors mechanics identified an issue with the customer's unit which had never undergone major repairs or standardized components. They conducted tests, inspections, and disassembled the steering brake component, revealing an unknown object causing low steering oil pressure. To prevent this issue, periodic servicing and a general overhaul every 16 hours are necessary. Adjusting the process to operating standards is crucial. Well, I think this is the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening. And I think that's all for today. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.